So what does WorldCoin tell us as fintech entrepreneurs about the way to think about how AI is going to impact our industry? So kind of the premise of the universal basic income aspect of what Sam Altman is proposing, right, is just taking for granted that AI can and will replace a lot of roles, especially customer service and sales types. So the other aspect of this, though, right, is that AI is not going to replace the role of humans as buyers and spenders of money, right? Central banks have taken the role of guiding entire national economies off of the idea that the monetary supply is the best tool to do this. So as fintech founders, we should take that to mean that buying behavior will be the constant, and we should be working backwards from what our vision of the future of buying behavior is going to be. I see a lot of fintechs thinking about like conversational AI and chatbots as a way to just right away start automating existing sales processes. Terrible idea, right? Instead, think through about the ways that you want your buyer to buy. How can you sort of disrupt their traditional process, especially in B2B, right? Where traditionally fintechs and payments, I think specifically, have tended to favor more of like mid-market or SMBs in their productization. It's really been there's been a lack of innovation at the enterprise level for fintechs, unless they're sort of thinking about how they can like partner with banks to do this, to navigate long technical sales processes. So, for example, something that I would suggest doing, and we've done in some of our use cases, is targeting the technical review process that happens pre-sales, right? Whereby a technical member of the buyer's team is responsible for kicking the tires, making sure that this product actually satisfies the business requirements and the solution requirements. But this is something that we just assume they're going to spend a lot of time reading through API documentation, setting up sandbox accounts, just figuring out a lot of the API workflows themselves. For fintechs, it takes a lot of resources to curate these conversations. And a challenge is that, for fintechs, we tend to write our technical documentation assuming that the audience is actively building. We're not really doing a great job tailoring that documentation for someone who's just sort of evaluating us and comparing us side by side to legacy players with a better track record of servicing enterprise. So how can AI help with this, right? And how does a fintech take the approach of using these interfaces to empower buyers? Here's something we did, right? Is we took the notion, Postman, obviously like an incredible, helpful tool for technical sales teams to just start demonstrating the ways that the API workflows work. But something that is difficult is like adding in that guide aspect, or like tutorials of like, okay, great, I can see the collection, but walk me through the entire step-by-step process of how do I execute a payment? How do I create an invoice? How do I move invoices into arrears? Like a lot of API use cases that it takes like a human being, a sales engineer or something, to sort of get on a call and say, let me walk you through sort of step-by-step a diagram of what APIs you need to use and when. It's like, don't do that anymore, right? This is something that you should be creating a custom knowledge base for this bot on your documentation. Have an interface like this is an API Explorer that we have the entire API collection preloaded, giving the external developer the ability to just start running tests. Credentials are preloaded. They can change that as they want to start sending calls. But they also have the ability to start asking questions about like, show me step by step how to create a chatbot. This is for our own tool, right? So, and the API should be able to do that. So for the sales team, though, right, we've created the view where they're actually able to monitor these interactions, right, and see the history of all of these chats coming in, right, understanding how the buyer is doing this. Now they have the ability to manage these technical review processes at scale, right? So here we go. Show me a step-by-step process. This is a question I just asked. Meaning now as a sales engineer, I can sort of have more visibility into what types of questions these technical buyers are asking, sort of where they're getting stuck, and also having that aid of like, I don't have to answer this in an email. And honestly, the technical buyer doesn't want to have to spend the time to read an email. So just, again, one example of the ways that as a fintech, you should be thinking about how to bring new buying experiences to your enterprise buyers, which is an area that's still in need of innovation. right? You can do this without expending too many resources, without having to hire multiple sales engineers, just empowering the good sales engineers you do have, right? But also helping that external developer just sort of get to the answer they need quicker. Again, just relating this back to altcoin or rather WorldCoin, is that the importance here is thinking about how buying behavior is going to change, not just as consumers, but in some of these untapped areas that traditional fintechs haven't been able to get into. So again, my name's Dick Dixon. I'm with Guoku. Reach out to us. We're here to help you guys get started implementing AI into your fintech. We're really industry focused on this tool, not generalist like some of the other AI orchestration platforms you've probably seen and worked with. So reach out. We're looking for partners. Slide in the DMs, comment below. Thank you.